And now it's time to transform your life in 15 minutes. Here's your host, Pia McAdams.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Transform Your Life with Pia. I am Pia. I'm an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach specializing in personal and small business finance and also fitness. I help people reach their goals. And on this live morning broadcast, this is where we're doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. All right, happy Friday and welcome, and thank you for taking the time to watch this live broadcast, or for those of you watching the recording, thank you as well. What we're doing here on the mind section is, or exercises, we're going to be talking, or we're still talking about discipline. By the way, this is the final broadcast on discipline, particularly self-discipline. And hopefully this information has been very, very useful to you. It's really small, bite-sized chunks of things to do on a regular basis. And anything that you do consistently over time, guess what? Change is going to happen. Now, yesterday we talked about procrastination being the cancer to self-discipline. Well, guess what we're going to be talking about this morning? I can't just leave you with cancer, right? It's time to turn in those cards, revoke your membership, and we're going to cure it. And how we're going to cure it? We're going to cure it with the habit of action. Okay, yes, action is the cure to the cancer called procrastination. Now, I know, guys, this is first thing in the morning, like, oh my God, I got to get up to hear about this stuff. But if not now, when? When is there time to do it? When do you make time for yourself? Do you want change? If you want change, then guess what? You have to change. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. The things that you're doing now, expect a different result. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for anybody. It doesn't work that way for me. It just doesn't work. All right. So I know it's not like sexy to get up talking about habit of action, self-discipline, blah, 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 blah. But hey, if not now, when? This is the best. Matter of fact, let me explain to you why it is the perfect time. I still got to work on my lesson here. But let me just shortly explain to you why it is the best time to do it first thing in the morning. Because it sets the tone for the rest of your day. Oh my gosh, like think about it. We're talking about self-discipline like wee hours in the morning. Then all of a sudden, all day, you're like, in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, deep down deepness, where you're not even aware of it, I'm going to be in there. You're like, oh my God, self-discipline. I should be doing this or I should be doing that. Okay, so that's why it's the best time to do it is first thing in the morning. Now, for those of you watching the recording and it's not first thing in the morning, then hey, can't help you. No, I'm just joking. I still can help you. All right, so anyway, let's talk about the habit of action. Now, before we get started, okay, this is, by the way, guys, remember, I start off telling you what I do, right? Well, I kind of start off telling you what I am. But obviously I did. I say I help people reach their goals. Okay, so that's one of my many things. And people have like all types of goals. They have fitness goals, finance goals. I mean, just all types of goals, emotional goals, relationship goals, life goals, spiritual goals. Like there's just goals. And if you don't have goals, oh, that was another broadcast. But you have to have goals, right? You have to have a target to get to. But anyway, this stuff works, okay? Literally, this stuff works. I just, testimony after testimony, it works. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because there's two things that I'm going to have to ask you to promise if you're going to be listening or taking advantage of what I'm talking about today. And this is something particularly for those people that says, I don't have time, Pia. I get it. I really need to do something, but there's just no time in my day, all right? This is what we're going to be talking about today. When I say the habit of action, the subtitle is time management. And I guarantee you guys, I'm pretty sure at some point in time or another, you said something about, I don't have time, or you were thinking you wish you had time to do this or time to do that, right? But guess what? We all have the same 24 hours in the day. So why is it that some people are accomplishing more and more and others aren't? Well, it's because of time management. And guess what? The super title, that's it, right? Anyway, the heading of it is self-discipline. You have to have the self-discipline, because if you don't have the self-discipline, then all these tools that I'm sharing with you, you're going to be like, it's just going to just go by you like the wind, because it's not going to make sense to you, because you're in your mindset. You're saying you don't have time to do it. Good morning, Nisi. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hopefully you're feeling better this morning. That's my BFF, you guys. We just, like, seriously, this is so funny. Like, people talk, when you talk to your friends, like, what are the conversations that you guys have with your friends, right? my friend and I, Nisi particularly, I mean, we talk about this kind of stuff. Like, we love this stuff. We're both coaches. We both love helping people. And this is what we talk about. Like, seriously, you know, I don't know what you talk about with a lot of your friends, but with me, I'm either talking about this kind of stuff, or I'm talking about fitness, or I'm talking about the things I'm passionate about, the things that I love. All right, so anyway, let's get back to the course at hand. All right, so the first thing that you need to promise is this, okay? That you're going to do something a little bit every single day, regardless, okay? So do it every single day. If for no other reason, then you rather not do it at all. I know it's first thing in the morning, and that probably just went way over your head. So I'm going to say it one more time, but otherwise you got to watch the recording. Sorry, I got to move on. All right, so you're going to do something every single day. If for no other reason, then you rather not do it at all, okay? That's number one. And then the second thing that you have to promise is this. Whenever that little voice in your head comes up and says, I'm going to do it later, or I'll do it later, then you have to immediately do whatever it is that you were thinking about not doing or doing later. You're going to do it right now. All right, so those are the two things, guys. Remember what we're talking about. We're talking about curing the habit of procrastination with the habit of action, okay? So those are the two things you got to do. Something every single day, and then also, as soon as that little voice comes up in your head that says, don't do it now, do it later, then you're going to go ahead and do something. Do it now anyway, all right? So now let's talk about the first thing. The first cure to cancer is, yes, Nisi, I hear you. And this, guys, by the way, I've been sharing this stuff with you, right, all month long, right? I also shared with you that I'm not just sitting here broadcasting you guys about like self-discipline. This is something I'm working on too. Hey, I'm not perfect. I mean, show me someone who is perfect. You know, look, I got all the fingers pointing at me. This is what I'm working on as well, self-discipline. I mentioned that my morning routine, blah, blah, blah. But even then, I'm not saying it's perfect, but that was pretty set. My evening routine, guys, I'm telling you, that's the one I got to work on. Like last night, I think I went to bed a little early last night. By the way, Nisi, that's why I didn't respond back to you, because I fell asleep. But anyway, my evening routine, and there's other things I need to work on too. So what I'm sharing with you, I'm going to be the first to let you know this is stuff that I'm working on myself. All right. And by the way, guys, when I say, for instance, I mentioned that I'm a certified life coach. I have a coach as well. As a matter of fact, like my BFF Nisi, she's like my accountability partner. And I tell you that I don't even want to go there. Like if you're talking about an excellent accountability partner, someone that's going to like put your stuff all up in your face, that girl right, I don't even know why I call her my BFF. Like seriously, she has two different heads. One is the BFF head and the other one is the accountability head. Oh, me and her go head to head with that accountability, because that girl is like ruthless. Like she won't let me like I can come up with the best excuses on like all kinds of stuff, right? Like seriously, I'm good at it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you are too, but I can come up with excuses. That girl right there. So anyway, let me get started. Okay, so the first step, or I should say the first technique, we're going to be eating some Swiss cheese. It's called Swiss cheesing, okay? That's the first concept, the first tool that's going to help you get over procrastination. Now, what is this concept called Swiss cheesing? Let me explain to you. It's basically where you take a big project or a big task and you break it up into little smaller tasks, little small pieces. All right, so for instance, let's say that you have a task that's going to take you 2 hours to complete. Well, instead of looking at it like, oh my God, where am I going to find 2 hours to do this? And then you start procrastinating. Remember those 3 fears we talked about yesterday? You start procrastinating, right? But what you're going to do instead is you're going to break it up into like maybe 8 15-minute segments or maybe 4 30-minute segments. All right, so that's what Swiss cheesing is. By the way, I got to plug this, right? Because it just came in. I got to plug it. That helps when it comes to writing a book. Like seriously, since I've been, sharing that I've written a book, I've of course come into contact with a lot of people saying that they want, that they're interested in also writing a book as well. By the way, I got a webinar coming up about that. But that's the best way to do it. You don't look at it like I got to write a book, because that seems like a big task. It's a big project. But what you do instead is you don't even think about a chapter. You think about just writing a paragraph a day. Okay, just a paragraph a day. Okay, so that's the concept of Swiss cheese, and that's going to help you with procrastination. And you get it, right? Swiss cheese, you have like little holes, little bite-sized pieces taken out of it. All right, so hopefully that will help you remember that concept. Guys, these tools work, okay, if you want to get something done. And remember that first promise that you made, okay? You said you're going to do something little bit every single day. If for no other reason, then you'd rather not do it at all. Well, this Swiss cheesing will help you because you're going to take those little bitty chunks, those little bitty, and if you need to, even take those little smaller pieces and break those up too, okay? Remember, it's whatever timeline you set for yourself, but the thing is, understand that the habit of action is going to get you in the right direction of movement. All right, gotta move on because we're running out of time. Actually, probably all the time, but you know how it goes. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. All right, now the second one. Now this one is key. Like seriously, this one I call unscheduling, okay? Oh my gosh, this one right now, for those of you that says you don't have enough time in your day to do whatever you want to listen to this. All right, it's called unscheduling. Basically what you do is you can do this on a notepad, or you can actually do it with a computer. Of course, I like the computer. But basically you make a table, and across the table you have like eight columns, you know, from Sunday through Saturday. And yes, I said 8 because you need 8. Okay, so you need 8 columns, and then you need some rows. Now with the rows, depending on what time you wake up in the morning, it's going to determine how many rows you need. And these rows are going to be hour blocks. So for instance, let's say you wake up at 6 o'clock. Well, obviously the first block is going to be empty because the next one says Sunday, right? So you go down to the second row. I should say the first row is the first block, the first cell of the first row is going to be empty. Okay, I got it right. And then, so you go 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, all the way down to whatever time you go to bed. So in my example, I'm going to show you from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So I have it right here. Okay, so basically, I hope you can see this. You basically do it like this. All right, so you see how, sorry, the light right here is reflecting, but see how it has, I know it's backwards, guys, come on, work with me. You know how it has Sunday here, and then it goes from 6 o'clock all the way down to 10 o'clock. By the way, guys, that's 16 hours a day, okay? So 16 hours of working time a day. Then what you do is you plug in those blocks with all life's necessities. So you have your travel, you have your meals, you have your meetings, you have your regular recreation. So you plug in all your life's activities. By the way, watching TV is not a life activity. Come on, guys. It's just not. Sorry, it isn't. So all of life's necessities, you're going to plug those in. All right. So then, and don't forget travel. Like that's very important, particularly like if you're living in, you know, those states, you know, Southern California or LA or Atlanta, you know, places where there's like a lot of traffic. I think there's even some places in Texas as well. Oh, there's probably places everywhere. There is. But anyway, make sure you put in travel as well. But then what you want to do is now you're able to visually see open slots, okay? Open slots. And then that's what you do. You allocate your free time to those little Swiss cheeses, those little tasks that you're going to do, all right? Now, let me tell you some fun things that will also help you, all right? Fun things is give your project a name, okay? Don't just call it write a book, okay? Change lives. You know, life goal, you know, give your project a name, and then also use colored markers to free it, like, you know, to put in what you're going to do for the little task. I like, you know me, I like my little bling. So I don't know if you can see it, but these little markers have glitter in it. So like if you're looking at your calendar, matter of fact, oh, you know what? It's in the other room. Like you're looking at your calendar, you're seeing like colorful things and it's like exciting for you, visually exciting. Say, oh my God, it's time for me to do this. It may be something simple, just make a phone call, all right? But whatever it is, use colored markers, use colored pens, colored paper, you know, not colored paper. I guess you could use colored paper. Make it fun, make it exciting for you. But anyway, so those are the 2 concepts that's going to help you with curing procrastination. So number 1, again, is called Swiss cheese. And this is where you break up the big tasks into little small tasks. And then the second one is called unscheduling. This is where you actually visually map out the time that you're spending every single day with life necessities. And then you see the little open spots where you can actually plug in little things to do. All right. So hopefully this information was helpful for you guys. It is Friday. I'm so excited to be here. By the way, as I'm transitioning to the next portion, which is going to be yoga.